Hello, it is another early Sunday morning, which means it is time to watch more One Piece. This episode will apparently, or at least might be, the episode of the year. I haven't seen anything on Twitter. I've tried to stay mostly spoiler-free, even though I've obviously read the manga, but you know. Alright, let us see what we can see. The reactions to the previous episode were honestly really surprising. Because some people said that it's like too fast, it's too over-animated. A lot of people had problems with the sound effects, but I never thought any of that because that's exactly what I wanted Gear 5 to be. I wanted Gear 5 to sort of transcend the anime itself, you know? I'm still saying my dream is that the to be continued card has Luffy appear. Like, he breaks through the series itself and appears in a very meta form, right? Or something like Luffy announcing that the fight will continue in the next episode or something like that. Because, like, the manga is obviously pen on paper, you know? So, Luffy's creativity sort of came through with his attacks. With anime, though, you can convey his creativity in the art itself. Like, when art styles start switching, Luffy is literally bending the world around him. That's what I've always wanted. So let's see. Let's see. I love the sound effects so much. They're so goofy. Maybe it's because I grew up watching this, and so the boings and boings are just like second nature to me, but I love it. I need to go through the impact frames. Because, like, the animators at this point, they're hiding so many things in the impact frames. I love this bit so much. The little Luffy running bit is so good. Come on, let's pop off. Stop it with the close-ups. Okay, here we go. Here we go. That's a smooth transition right there. I like that. This is something that I guess I never really got in the manga, the vibe. That Luffy's just bouncing, even when they're not fighting. Because he's not even standing, he's literally just bouncing while talking to him. So this is where Kaido is coming to the conclusion that maybe Luffy's fruit isn't a paramecia after all. Let's not get into it. I don't think it should have been made a zone, I'll say that. I think it wasn't necessary. Okay, here we go. Why does the music sound like a carnival? I love it. This is so dumb. I love it. The glint on the teeth. Shooting Luffy Taro. This is what we like the anime. This is why this is exactly what I mean by good anime filler, you know. In the manga, we didn't see him just jumping around inside the stomach. I think he's taking it very seriously. We've got to see what's going on. Meanwhile, Luffy is just using him as a skipping rope any second now. A form like that. It's the balloon Kaido. Because that's how eyes work, by the way. Oh my god, I remember that, like, way back, there was this weird myth that there's apparently a hole in your iris. Don't ask me why, I just remembered about it. I love how there's this, like, the ominous thunder in the background. Meanwhile, Luffy is just floating around. That's a really cool shot. Oh, I know what's coming. Also, the clouds are back. Didn't Luffy clear the sky solo? There he is! Yeah, it's just big Luffy. What do you mean? Yes! This is my favorite scene from the entire fight. This right here is easily my favorite scene from the entire fight. Like, the fact that an emperor is using an emperor as a skipping rope. That is just like... Because when you think of, like, Whitebeard fighting, right? My guy literally destroyed the entire island. Luffy's using another emperor as a skipping rope. I love that. Okay, Luffy gets blasted. And this is what I mean by me being worried about power scaling in One Piece. Because Luffy and Gear, like, look at this! Remember Skywalk? Yeah. Luffy is just like, nah, I would just run across the air. I love the music. I heard that they're going to put out some sort of Gear 5 exclusive soundtrack thing. Because the Gear 5 soundtrack, it feels like weirdly heroic and wholesome. I don't think we've heard music like this before. I think this is like part of the OST they made. Yeah, like I really hope they add a bunch more character-centric stuff at the end of Wano. Because the end of Wano in the manga was super rushed, if you ask me. I hope we get to see a bunch more of these scenes. Especially like after the fight. Okay, that is badass. I don't think Ragnarok's gonna be enough to stop Luffy. I think if Ragnarok were to happen, Luffy would just be, you know... Yeah, like that. Okay, I saw this people talking about in the manga. Like, the fact that Luffy makes others' eyes pop out. Imagine if it turns out to be Oda foreshadowing something again. And like, the peak of the peak power is Luffy giving Gear 5 to everyone else on the crew. It doesn't make any sense, but he can shape the world around him. Maybe. That is Luffy trying to squeeze his head through a hole in the building. This is like a comic strip. Very fourth wall breaky of you, Kaido. Just like me, for real, for real. This is what happens when you reach, like, your 20s. And 1 AM hits. Same. I was on death's door, right. Right. Let's pop off. I just can't help but imagine, like, imagine if they redid Marineford with this level of quality. Like Marineford, Sabaody. Because we've sort of seen them redo, the super early arcs. That's the only thing I can think of when I watch these things. It's just, it's so above everything else that even the peak scenes of earlier arcs, I'm just like, imagine if they were to be redone. Okay, that looks badass. Do you think I'm afraid of that? I love this style so much. It's like so messy, but so smooth. You didn't have to go that hard. You did not have to go that hard. Okay. They didn't have to go this hard. Okay, here we go. This is what we want to... Yes! This is what I mean, like, Luffy enters Gear 5, he basically has God mode turned on. The nya 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 is so good. One of my friends always makes that noise. The nya 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 is a bit of an inside meme for us. This is so dumb, I love it. Oh my god, the teeth! Oh my... What? Follow me. Cum gum counter blow. My guy literally just moves the mountain. Oh my god. Glorious. Emperor versus Emperor, by the way. By the way, can we appreciate the fact how little auras there are? Because when we see those little sparkles of like all the rainbow colors, that looks badass. And there isn't like weird auras everywhere. The whole screen isn't like flashing. I love it. And this is Luffy Gear 5. This is perfect. I'm loving this so much. The episode's about to be over though. Boing. Is he gonna say it? He needs to say he's gonna be King of the Pirates at least once in Gear 5, right? Oh, that is so good. I'll surpass you and become the King of the Pirates! Yes! Okay, that was close enough, but we want Luffy to appear in the to be continued. We want Luffy to stretch it down or something. And by the way, I already said this the last time, but this ending is now on my permanent Spotify playlist. I don't know why it gives me Gravity Falls vibes, and I love it. It's so good. This episode... I'm sorry I gave you a jump scare, I just hit the table. This episode, I mean, it was mostly Luffy versus Kaido, but I want more. I want more so much. The 20 episodes just flew by me in an instant. That was a really, really good episode. I don't think... I don't think it was more hype than 1015, but I don't know whether that's because I've read the manga. That's the thing. I don't know whether or not that is because I read the manga. Because 1015 was a sort of a breaking point. This is kind of like we've already hit the peak. You know, like peak, So I don't know. Was this episode better than 1015? I don't know. I think 1015 for me, because it was still me watching the anime only and I had no idea what's coming. I think 1015 for me sort of set the standard that might never be broken. But this episode was peak. Don't get me wrong, this episode is easily like a 9.5. Actually, you know what? Might even be higher. What was there a single thing I thought was not good in this episode? I don't think so. I really don't think so. Because I think all the scenes we got of everyone else, like below Onigashima, or not below Onigashima, within Onigashima, talking about Luffy, I think that fits perfectly well, and I want more of that. I want to see sort of the effects and the, like, what everyone else is thinking now that Luffy has attained his peak and entered Gear 5 and all that. I think all these little scenes are great. So, I think that was cool. I mean, Luffy just being Luffy is excellent. Like, all the Luffy versus Kaido scenes, 10 out of 10. Perfect. I love how many times we see them switch art styles. I love how experimental the scenes are. Like, Luffy sometimes takes up half the screen. Sometimes he's a tiny dot. Sometimes he's flashing in lights. It's so good. It's so creative. I still wish they changed more art styles, though. I really hope they do something like this for the climax of the fight. You know, the climax of the fight, I guess. I want there to be a scene where Luffy punches Kaido, and as we go through, like, the punch, we just flash through a dozen different art styles. I think that would be the epitome of Gear 5. Like, it breaks everything so much that even the visuals of the world itself shift. I think that would be perfect. You know what? I'm going to change this episode's rating, because I just remembered about the scratchy Luffy scene. Yeah, this episode's gonna get a 9.8 out of 10. I think I said 9.5 earlier. I think so. A 9.8 out of 10. I think we can still get higher. But this episode was absolutely awesome. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I think these episodes is gonna be it's gonna be madness. Anyway, this was a great episode. I cannot wait to see how Gear 5 finally concludes in the anime, because man, they have definitely done the impossible. They have definitely pulled it off already, and I want to see the rest of it, like right now. Anyway, I'll see you back whenever I see you back. Obviously, the manga is on break, so I'll be back next Sunday. I think there's an episode next Sunday, so we'll be back probably with that as well. And then obviously the manga is going on, and then at the end of the month we have live action. We're eating real good. I'm gonna keep saying it. August for One Piece fans this year is insane. Anyway, I'll see you whenever I see you. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And with that, have a good one. Bye-bye.